This next storyteller is almost indescribable. Now, everybody on this stage has been amazing, but this person describes herself as a cultural producer, multidisciplinary mother, artist, director, actor, photographer, teaching artist, poet, who blends creative practice with social justice action. Ladies and gentlemen, Gabi Sanchez.
Hey, y'all. All right. So I'm going to start in an untraditional way with a story right now. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. Ooh, that song from Andra Day has been my mantra, an affirmation that keeps me going, keeps me moving forward. Pa'lante. Yo soy Latina. I'm a North and West Philly native, public school educated, Philly drawn to the 100th power. If you couldn't tell already, it's a swag. Voluptuous bruja. Yes, I made up the word voluptuous. It's not in the dictionary yet. A mother artist, healer, badass cultural producer, community activist, and now philanthropist. That's a lot, I admit it, pero I embody all of those voluptuous identities and the ones I will discover along the way. Okay, so let me get real with y'all real quick. A few months ago, I was asked to participate on a panel to discuss this report called Moving Minds and Money to Transform Art and Culture Investment. I was going to be speaking in front of a room filled with investors, arts leaders, and funders. And y'all, my neurodivergent brain and anxiety was kicking my ass from the moment I was asked to participate. You better prove that you belong in this space. Those voices that haunt everything you do. My poor household had to deal with my hyper preparation for weeks. Shout out to the hubby for holding it down. Can I get some snaps and claps, y'all? Yes. So it's been almost a year now that I am now the executive director of the Philadelphia Cultural Fund. Yes. And I've had a deep desire for affinity spaces. This work can feel so lonely, especially as a mother and Latina. Yeah, really, really lonely. And so anyway, as you know, I was like over preparing for this report in front of all those investors and funders. And the day had arrived and I decided to catch an Uber, real bougie, okay? I thought it would help me relax and get zen. Since January, I have started a new morning routine. Pray, meditate, journal, and read at 6 a.m. every day. And I should be good to go, right? Right? No, pero I just almost shit and pissed myself at the same time. Seriously, I was sweating profusely. I kept breathing in and out. Whew, as the sweat dripped, the Uber driver knew something was up. My mind kept telling me, Gabi, you got this. You a badass bitch. My mind was telling me one thing and my body was doing another. It was wild. I finally arrived. I stepped out of the Uber, took a deep breath, and it was game time. I walked over to that art gallery on 16th Street, chin up, swagalicious, even with the booby sweat, and kept it pushing with transparent and vulnerable leadership in my responses on the panel. People came up to me afterwards and would give me words of affirmation and appreciation. You know, It later hit me after talking to my bestie Alina that I was dealing with a severe case of imposter syndrome prior to my arrival. It was a reminder that no matter how much I've worked on myself spiritually and in therapy, the feeling of belonging is complicated. I like to remind myself that we are all born worthy to belong, worthy to exist. I share this story because as a theater major at Temple University, imposter syndrome. Back then, I didn't have the buttoned up language for what I was navigating. All I knew was that the systems of inequity that my peers and I were facing were bullshit and yet so personal. Like, why was I in debt to an institution for learning a history that wasn't mine? Why were the tenure professors and administrators not reflective of our diverse city? Why was I never assigned to read a Latina play in my theater history class or any class at that? Why was I not encouraged to disrupt and renew Shakespeare's language with my tongue? I remember the first time there was a role for a Latina actor my junior year. The character was a sex worker. Back then, they used the word prostitute. The perfect gauntlet created by the system. Ooh, all the Latinas were ready to fight for that role. Fight for that stage time. To be fair, it was 2 short scenes, and the actor would be almost naked and give the ratchetest performance of their life. Thank you so much. That's all we ever dreamed of. Desperation to be seen and ready to let competition tear us apart. All for what? To maybe belong? I mean, there were only 5 of us in total in the whole theater cohort that I recall. And sadly, we barely hung out. I often would dream about playing a powerful Latina, plus-size Latina on stage with my culture, language, traditions. Oh, I would fantasize about playing someone my age because apparently fat people do not exist in their 20s. Seriously, somehow the casting gods thought I was only good at playing the mom role. I had big dreams. I wanted to be a Broadway star and be on the big screen. Joke's on me because I would quickly learn my senior year that belonging would be rooted in mobilizing other artists like me who felt marginalized. And my first baby was born, Power Street Theater. We use theater and performing arts as a tool for transformational change. Now, Power Street wasn't an easy birth process. My co-artistic director, Erlene Ortiz, can attest to it. It has been 12 years of grit, sacrifice, and joy, a place of radical resistance, decolonization, artivism, and belonging. Hija, there is no limit to what the universe has in store for you, Papi would say. And he was right. Perhaps I never got to perform on the main stage show or on Avenue of the Arts, but now, look at me. I've gone on to produce a new musical at Temple University this summer, okay, called Siluetas, starring an outstanding cast and a Tony Award-winning actress. Yes. So, how did I arrive at becoming all of the voluptuous identities I embody? With an abundance of imagination, co-creation, and world building has been my foundation. I've leaned into gratitude for my support system, of family, friends, and mentors. And I've leaned into gratitude for my body, emotions, and senses. This body that has been gifted to me. And I like to memorize mantras and songs that uplift my spirit. We'll rise up, we'll rise like the day, we'll rise up. In spite of the ache, we'll rise up. And we'll do it 1,000 times again. Thank you.
So much, baby. You are amazing, outstanding, incredible. What? Y'all give it up one more time for Gabi. So in all of this introduction, Gabi was also a 2022 Transformation Award winner. It didn't say that you were a singer. Okay? Okay?
We act like we can sing, right, y'all? Like that's part of the thing.
No. This was really, really beautiful. What would you say today to theater students in a department where there are no offerings for Latina actresses or Latina actors? What would you tell them today? How to deal with that?
Yes. I would tell them, disrupt spaces with your body, your language, your culture, your stories. Write our stories. Take out folks to coffee dates. If you have, I've developed mentors by just being like, that person is awesome. I'm going to be brave enough to ask them on a coffee date and learn from them. So many people are out here willing to just offer support. And so we have to seek that support, because that support isn't systems aren't created for us to exist in. We have been rendered invisible through many identities that we embody, or I embody. I'll speak for myself. So I think Power Street's here for you. There's so many other companies that may not exist in this first world. There's so many companies out here that are doing it and that are on the ground. So just reaching out and also creating your own shit, yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Gabi.